The winters of my youth were long, long seasons. We spent our life in three places: the school, the church, and the skating rink. But our real life was on the skating rink. Real battles were won on the skating rink. Real strength appeared on the skating rink. Real leaders showed themselves on the skating rink. As for school, that was sort of a punishment. My parents always want to punish their children, and school is their natural way of punishing us. As for the church, there we found the tranquility of God. There we could forget about school and dream of our next hockey game. Planning out our next strategy. Sometimes in our daydreams we would happen to recite a prayer. We would ask God to help us play as well as Maurice Richard. We all wore the same uniform as he, the red, white, and blue of the Montreal Canadiens. We would comb our hair in the same style as Maurice Richard. To keep in place, we used a sort of glue, a great deal of glue. Lace up our skates like Maurice Richard, tape up our sticks like Maurice Richard. We cut his picture out from all the newspapers. Truly, there was nothing we did not know about him. On the rink, when the referee would blow his whistle, we were 5 Maurice Richards taking away from 5 other Maurice Richards. We were 10 players, all wearing with the same blazing enthusiasm the red, white, and blue of the Montreal Canadiens. On our back, we all wore the famous number 9. Well, one winter, my sweater became too small. Got torn, had holes in it. My mother said, if you wear that sweater, people will think we are poor. So she did as she always did whenever we needed new clothes. She took out the catalog Eaton's company would send to our house each year. My mother was proud. She did not want to buy our clothes at the general store. The only thing that was good enough for us was the latest styles from Eaton's catalog. My mother, she did not like the order forms. They were in English. She didn't understand a word of it. So, to order my sweater, she did as she always did. She took out a piece of writing paper, and in her gentle school teacher's hand would write, "Cher Monsieur Eaton, would you be so kind as to send me a Canadian sweater for my son, who was 10 years old and a little too tall for his age? Dr. Robert thinks Maggie's a little too thin. I'm going to send you $3. Send me back what's left if there is anything left. And I hope your wrapping is better than last time." Mr. Eaton was quick to answer my mother's letter. 2 weeks later, my sweater arrived. On that day, I had the most disappointment of my life. You could even say on that day, I experienced a great sorrow. For instead of the red, white, and blue of the Montreal Canadiens, Monsieur Eaton has sent a blue and white sweater with a maple leaf. Sweater of the Toronto Maple Leafs? I had always worn the red, white, and blue sweater. All my friends wore the red, white, and blue sweater. No one had ever worn a Toronto Maple Leaf sweater. No one in my village had ever even seen a Toronto Maple Leaf sweater. Besides, the Toronto Maple Leafs are regularly trounced by the triumphant Canadiens. With a tear in my eye, I said, I'm never going to wear that uniform. My mother said, my boy, if you if you give up on things before you even try, you won't get very far in this life. And already, she had the sweater up over my shoulders, and my arms are already in the sleeves. She began to smooth out the abominable white maple leaf, which right on the middle of my chest are the words, Toronto Maple Leafs. I wept. I'll never wear it. Why? It fits you like a glove. Maurice Richard would never wear it on his back. You're no Maurice Richard. Besides, it's not what's on your back that counts. It's what's inside your head. Well, you'll never put in my head to wear a Toronto Maple Leaf sweater. My mother sighed in despair and explained to me, if you don't want this sweater that fits you perfectly well, I'm going to have to explain to Monsieur Kerrytown that you do not like the maple leaves. Monsieur Kerrytown's an Anglais. He likes the maple leaves. He'll be insulted. And if he's insulted, do you think he'll be in a hurry to answer us? Springtime will come, and you will not play a single game, all because you won't wear a Toronto Maple Leaf sweater. So I was obliged to wear a Toronto Maple Leaf sweater. Out on the rink, all the boys in red, white, and blue came over to me to take a look. When the referee blew his whistle, I took my place on the ice. But the captain said, no, I'll need you later on this forward line. A few minutes later, I went out onto the ice again. My sweater weighed on my shoulders like a mountain. The captain said, no, I'm going to need you on defense. By the third period, I still had not played. Finally, the defenseman was hitting the nose with a stick. It was bleeding. Finally, my chance had come. I jumped out onto the ice. The referee blew his whistle. He gave me a penalty. Yeah? He said there were already 5 players on the ice. That was too much. That was unfair. That was persecution. All because of my Toronto Maple Leaf sweater. I took my stick and I hit the ice so hard it broke. Relieved, I bent down to pick up the debris. And when I straightened up, I saw the young vicar on skates before me. My boy, just because you wear a Toronto Maple Leaf sweater, unlike the others, does not mean you make the law around here. Proper young man does not lose his temper. Take off your skates, go to the church, and ask God to forgive you. So, wearing my Toronto Maple Leaf sweater, I went to the church, and I asked God to send, as quickly as possible, moths to eat my Toronto Maple Leaf sweater.